What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction and welcome back to another COD mobile video. So today I want to discuss the test server for season 5 and 6 because we do have some pretty interesting news in terms of signature attachments for the next weapon. So as you guys know, every 2 seasons we do get that major update that changes a lot of stuff in the game. Well, at least this one doesn't really change too much, but for the most part we usually do. But they also do introduce signature attachments for certain weapons. They usually have one and they come out like from a legendary draw. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I mean, I think the only one that never really came out with the legendary draw is probably with the Striker. So the one weapon that we're actually discussing today is the HADES. So yes, the HADES is going to be the next weapon that receives a signature attachment. This one's kind of like questionable. It has sparked a bit of debate, online on Twitter, debating whether or not this specific attachment is going to be, overpowered or not. And even me, I'm like on the fence with it as well because it doesn't really seem that useful in terms of just, normal multiplayer where it's hardpoint or domination or anything that involves like respawn modes. So I don't know if you guys ever played Modern Warfare 2, and I'm not talking about the 2021 version, but I'm actually talking about the original Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. There was an attachment that you were able to equip on, I think, most of your guns, which was the heartbeat sensor. So that's basically what the HADES is going to get within these next 2 seasons. So I'll admit, I'm a little bit weirded out with these signature attachments recently. Most of them haven't really been that useful, or in any case, they just either get nerfed to the ground, just like the ASM-10 Branson barrel, and they're just not really used that often. And now that I think about it, most signature attachments aren't really that great. I mean, if you think about the Thunderbolt Sling, the Taser for the Pharaoh, which I've never seen anyone use ever, I understand that they're trying to make the game a little bit more unique with its, with its weaponry, but I think sometimes they do fail miserably. The only successful one that I could really think of is maybe the GRU combo grip, and even then it has like serious, like unnecessarily high downsides, especially for the AK-47 that's already a slow weapon. But, one of the more successful ones in the past was probably the Branson barrel. I guess also you can maybe count the full auto thing for the M16 as one of those, I guess useful signature attachments. But for the most part, like all of them are just kind of like a letdown because they do nerf them when they become a little too strong. So basically how this heartbeat sensor works is basically what you have in your tactical section, A lot of people use it during search and destroy to find their enemies a little quicker. However, this one's going to have some downsides. This is something that you have to like tap the screen to activate, and you only have like 30 seconds to use it in total. So if you want to use it again, you're probably going to have to die and just, repeat the cycle. I kind of forgot how far the detection range is for the heartbeat sensor, but I'm assuming it's all right. But again, a lot of people are looking at this as kind of like a tool for search and destroy. And the reason why people don't look at it as a good option for regular multiplayer, like, respawns, is just mainly the fact that you don't really have time to look down your screen to see, like, if there's someone around you in a very fast-paced mode such as hardpoint. So it's not really going to be, the best option for that. But in search and destroy, that's why I see it, shining the most. But again, I mean, that attachment could have been on a different weapon, Don't get me wrong, with the HADES, it's a pretty decent, actually it's a pretty strong, I was about to say assault rifle, but basically it's a strong LMG. Honestly, I'm surprised it doesn't even compete with the Holger or like the other LMGs. It's actually pretty solid. I know for some of you guys that might sound like a horrible take, but for the little time that I used the HADES in the past, I mean, I've always enjoyed my time with it. It may not be like the best LMG in the world or just the best weapon in general, but it still packs quite a punch. And I think a lot of people are just failing to see that because, especially in ranked, you have the CBR and just other weapons taking over. So yeah, the HADES, as good as it is, it's still kind of slow. And keep in mind, I forgot to mention this, another downside of using the heartbeat sensor for the HADES, because the attachment is actually in the underbarrel section. And based on the positioning of where the heartbeat sensor is going to be, I mean, yeah, it's going to be on the same, like, it's basically going to be where the crossbar normally would be if you were using it. So a very vital part of the HADES is already taken up, so you can't even use that part. So you're going to have to use it like a normal gun. And if you don't have the void sender like I do, I mean, Yeah, like you guys are gonna have to use probably a red dot to make up for the bad iron sight on the base gun. I'm not really aware whether or not the second legendary for the Hades has any different iron sight, but I mean, if you don't have those two legendary, you're kind of screwed. But there also might be an alternative thing with this, because yes, we're thinking about search and destroy, but what we don't take into consideration is probably battle royale, because that might actually help us a bit. If you are playing, like, let's say Alcatraz, especially in tournament mode, if you do get like a care package with like the heartbeat sensor, you know, if you have your class set up there, maybe it can help you a little bit, but maybe not too much, given that like the footsteps in Alcatraz are extremely loud, so you kind of already know where everyone is. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think. That's pretty much the entire topic I wanted to discuss today. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments, because I'm actually interested in how you guys would actually use this. But yeah, anyways, have a wonderful day, guys.